The desert stretched before him, an endless sea of golden sand, towering rock formations, sculpted by eons of alien winds, clawed at the sky. The silence was absolute, broken only by the whisper of sand as it danced on the wind, a harsh, unforgiving beauty. This was Xylos. This planet was not kind. It did not offer the gentle embrace of Earth. Here, survival was a daily struggle, a testament to resilience, and yet life found a way. He felt the weight of the alien woman in his arms. Her skin, a luminous blue, shimmered faintly. Even in her weakened state, she radiated an ethereal glow. Her eyes, large and almond-shaped, were filled with a mixture of pain and gratitude. Her name was Lyra. Their meeting had been a matter of chance, or perhaps destiny. He had found her, barely clinging to life, beside a crashed alien vessel, a vessel unlike any he had ever seen. He had been exploring a remote canyon when he spotted the wreckage. Twisted metal glinted under the twin suns, a beacon against the monotonous gold. As he got closer, he heard it. A faint moan, a plea for help. Lyra. She was the sole survivor. Injured and disoriented, but alive. He had carried her for hours, navigating the treacherous canyons, desperate to find shelter before nightfall. He reached a shallow cave, hidden amongst the rocks. The sun was setting, casting long shadows across the arid landscape. The heat of the day was giving way to the cold of the night, and he knew they needed shelter. It wasn't much, but it would offer some protection from the elements. The cave was small, barely enough to fit the two of them, but its rocky walls would shield them from the biting wind and the chill of the desert night. He gently laid Lyra down on the soft sand. Her face was pale, her eyes closed, and her breathing was labored. He could see the pain etched on her face, and it tore at his heart. Her breathing was shallow, her body racked with tremors. Each breath seemed to be a struggle, and he could feel the fear rising within him. He had to stay calm for her sake. He knew she was in labor. Her time was close. The contractions were coming faster now, and he could see the strain on her face. He had to help her, but he felt so helpless. He had no medical supplies, no way to contact help. They were alone in this vast, unforgiving desert. He cursed himself for not being better prepared, for not foreseeing this moment. All he had were his wits, his determination, and a glimmer of hope. He had to believe that they could make it through this, that they could survive. He had to be strong for her, for their unborn child, a hope that transcended the vast gulf between their species. They had come so far together, overcoming so many obstacles. He couldn't let despair take hold now. He had to hold on to that hope, for it was all they had left. He began to gather rocks, creating a makeshift barrier at the entrance of the cave. It wasn't much, but it would help keep out the cold wind and any curious creatures that might wander by. He then set about lighting a small fire. The warmth and light would be crucial through the night. He used the last of their kindling, hoping it would be enough to last until morning. He took her hand, squeezing it gently. "We're going to get through this," he whispered, more to himself than to her. He needed to believe it, needed to hold on to that desperate hope. As night fell, he looked out at the stars, twinkling in the clear desert sky. Each star seemed to be a beacon of hope, a reminder that they were not alone in this vast universe. He settled in beside her, ready to face whatever the night would bring. He knew it would be a long and difficult night, but he was determined to stay by her side, to protect her and their unborn child. In the face of overwhelming odds, he clung to that desperate hope. It was all they had, and it would have to be enough. The setting suns cast an orange glow across the cave. The light glinted off a strange object on Lyra's wrist, a band of shimmering metal pulsing with an internal light, alien technology. He had seen glimpses of it before, in the wreckage of the ship, technology beyond his comprehension, technology that spoke of a civilization far advanced from his own. And yet, even the most advanced technology couldn't defy the cruel indifference of fate. He knelt beside Lyra, offering what comfort he could. The desert cave was their only refuge from the harsh, unforgiving environment outside. The wind howled, carrying with it the sands of time, eroding everything in its path. Yet, in this small sanctuary, a bond was forming, one that transcended the boundaries of species and language. He didn't speak her language, but in her eyes, he saw a reflection of his own fear, his own hope. Those eyes, so different yet so familiar, spoke volumes. They communicated a shared understanding, a mutual recognition of the peril they both faced. It was a silent conversation, one that needed no words, only the raw, unfiltered emotions that passed between them. In that moment, the vastness of space seemed to shrink. The endless expanse of stars above, once a reminder of their isolation, now felt like a protective canopy. The universe, in all its infinite complexity, had brought them together for a reason. It was as if the stars themselves had conspired to create this unlikely alliance. They were two beings, thrown together by circumstance. The desert, with its harsh and unyielding landscape, was a testament to their resilience. Each grain of sand, a challenge they had to overcome. Yet, together, they found strength in their unity. They were no longer just a human and an alien. They were survivors, partners in a quest for survival. Human and alien, united by a shared will to survive. Their journey was fraught with danger, but it was also filled with moments of profound connection. Every step they took was a testament to their determination. They walked side by side, facing the unknown together, their bond growing stronger with each passing day. He knew that the odds were stacked against them, but he refused to give up. The horizon, though distant and elusive, was a symbol of hope. It represented the promise of a new beginning, a future where they could live in peace. His resolve was unwavering, fueled by the belief that they could overcome any obstacle if they stood together. He would fight for her unborn child, for a future that seemed impossibly distant. The stakes were higher than ever, but so was his determination. He was not just fighting for survival. He was fighting for a chance at a new life, a life where they could thrive. In the face of adversity, their bond was their greatest strength, a beacon of hope in the vast, unforgiving desert. The last rays of the twin suns dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in a riot of colors: purple, orange, red, a breathtaking spectacle of cosmic artistry, a stark contrast to the harsh reality of their situation. Yet, even in the face of adversity, there was beauty. The beauty of life, tenacious and resilient, the beauty of connection, forged in the crucible of shared hardship, and the beauty of hope, a flickering flame in the darkness. He watched over Lyra through the long night, listening to the rhythm of her breathing, the soft moans of pain. He couldn't erase her suffering, but he could offer his presence, his strength. As the first rays of dawn pierced the darkness, he felt a shift beside him. Lyra's eyes met his, filled with a new resolve, a fierce maternal instinct. In that moment, he knew. Their destinies were intertwined. He emerged from the cave, his eyes squinting against the harsh light of the twin suns. The air was dry and filled with the scent of unknown flora, a stark contrast to the damp, dark cave he had just left behind. Each step he took felt like a journey into the unknown, a new chapter in the story of survival. The rising suns cast long shadows across the golden sand, creating an otherworldly landscape that seemed both beautiful and intimidating. The dual suns, one slightly larger and more orange than the other, painted the sky in hues of pink and purple, a sight that was both mesmerizing and alien. He carried a small bundle in his arms, wrapped carefully in a piece of fabric salvaged from their wrecked ship. The bundle was precious, a symbol of hope and continuity in this strange new world. It was Lyra's child, their child, born under the most extraordinary circumstances. A new life, born under an alien sky. The colors of the horizon shifted as the suns climbed higher, casting a surreal glow over the landscape. It was a reminder of the endless possibilities and the challenges that lay ahead. Lyra's child, their child. The bond they shared was unbreakable, forged in the fires of adversity and strengthened by their shared determination to survive. They had each other, and that was enough to face whatever came their way. He looked up at the vast expanse of the alien sky, feeling a sense of awe and wonder. The sky was a canvas of stars, each one a distant sun, a beacon of light in the darkness. It was a reminder of the vastness of the universe and their small place within it. 1,000,000 stars twinkled like diamonds scattered across black velvet, each one a promise of new worlds and new adventures. The beauty of the night sky was a stark contrast to the harsh reality of their situation, but it also offered a glimmer of hope. He didn't know what the future held. The uncertainty was a constant companion, a shadow that followed him wherever he went. But he also knew that uncertainty was a part of life, a part of the journey they were on. He didn't know if they would be rescued, if they would ever see Earth again. The thought of never returning home was a heavy burden, but it was one he had learned to carry. He had to stay strong, for himself, for Lyra, and for their child, if they would ever see Earth again. The memories of their home planet were fading, but the longing remained. The distant blue orb was a symbol of everything they had lost and everything they hoped to regain. But he knew one thing. They were not alone. The presence of Lyra and their child was a constant source of strength and motivation. Together, they would face the challenges of this new world, under a million stars.